Aries, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. We'll be choosing 6 cards, and the 6 cards will look at the energies that are surrounding you this week, the gifts, the challenges, and all the in-between spaces which we call life. And I'd like to say, Aries, thank you for all the support you give me, by the way. You keep me going at times when I feel like not going, okay? So I really appreciate all the support you give me. So let's look at the 6 cards for Aries, please. I'll clarify if I need to. So what lies behind you? King of Wands, okay? Very focused on your goals. You're very powerful, the King of Wands. Very much that Aries energy, but I'll clarify it as I go along. The gift is the 6 of Wands, very, very nice. There's some sort of riding to victory going on here, some sort of success. The challenge is the Ace of Swords, which would be this gift of clear thinking. Sometimes the Ace of Swords is a challenge because the sword can be double-edged. Sometimes we see things we don't want to see, okay? We're all really, really good at blocking out what we don't want to hear, okay? How other people are showing up for you is the Temperance card, nice. The central issue, Judgment card, I adore the Judgment card. And the outcome is the World card. What are you up to, Aries? So the advice card is the World, okay? When the World card, first of all, is the last major arcana. So the Fool has gone through every single experience, okay? That's what makes a rich life, for good and for bad, Aries. So when you get to the World card, it's about completion of a whole karmic cycle. Tying things up, completing things in order for you to begin again at the Fool card, the new beginning, the adventurer who sets out there. Very beautiful. Your additional guidance card is the Soulmate card. So I'm not sure if there's powerful relationship dynamics going on for you. Soulmates come in many shapes or forms. Anything from they can appear as our greatest adversary, you know what I mean? Who teach us to expand beyond our horizons, because that's what our soul wants to fly. And a soulmate sometimes is someone who gets us to grow way out our comfort zone. Okay, these are the people that when we get to the other side will understand we're the most important people in our lives. But for some of you, this might be just love. Love's coming your way. The advice to keep making sure all your cycles are complete, okay? Because you don't get to move to the Fool. You still be in the 10 of Wands card, carrying all karma, all old experiences, which will just keep taking you round the wheel until things are completed and tied up. Very, 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 very important, Aries. Okay, we always want to be traveling at the level, at the 0, which means we want our books to be clear. We don't want to have crap, have resentments, have issues. That's what the World card is as an advice card. It doesn't get much more powerful than that. So as the King of Wands behind you, I feel you've been very much in your own element, very much in this fire element. There might be a desire to push your life forward, to find soul expression, because fire is the outward expression of your soul, basically. There might be a big desire to express yourself here. And the good news is you're having some victory as a 6 of Wands, okay? Some newness, something is bubbling up, okay? Remember, keep completing before you take any new opportunities, okay? Or else it becomes a big forest fire rather than a creative project, okay? Your challenge is the Ace of Swords. So sometimes when the Ace of Swords comes as a challenge, we might have to see quite challenging aspects of ourselves as well. It's called shadow work. I don't know if a lot of you know about shadow work, but it's about understanding we're both light and we're both shadow. And that's where the Ace of Swords is. Sometimes it is about looking in the mirror and going, okay, I did that really well, but there's parts of me that might need to change. What I always say, what's 0 for the ego is 100 for the soul, okay? And really, essentially, the purpose of our life is to bring our soul qualities to the forefront and allow them to bring the magic in, because boy, do they bring in the magic. But there might be some looking at yourself that is quite awkward, okay? Now, others people are showing up for you as a Temperance card, so very balanced. It's the card of Sagittarius. The mind and heart have come into union, okay? And because she's floating in water, this is about spiritualizing your emotions, being connected with the divine, receiving divine messages, very, very much like the High Priestess. But she comes right after the Death card, so there might be a little bit of vulnerability sometimes when the Temperance card comes up, a little bit raw, because she only wears this tiny slip, can you see? So she's very naked almost, and very, but she's not losing an inch. She's holding this goblet and she's perfectly balanced, but there might be a little bit of sense of vulnerability. Maybe some of you have had a shock, maybe some of you have gone through a letting go process and you're healing, but still a little bit tiny little bit vulnerable. So look after yourself, or if other people are around you are in this Temperance space. It's about being gentle and allowing your strength to rebuild, okay? Central issue is a Judgment card, which is about rebirth, okay? Very interesting. So think about it. You get the Death, you get Temperance, and then you meet another few devils on the way, and you keep shredding skin and you keep learning lessons until you get to the Judgment card, which is about rebirth. This is about coming out of these coffins and receiving all this divine energy. I adore the Judgment card, by the way, because it looks to me, for some of you, quite a challenging passageway has come to an end. There's an awful lot of forgiveness and tying up of loose ends with that World card, completing things in order for you to move forward again on the Fool's journey with all the lessons that you've learned already. So we move forward wiser. And that's all wisdom is. And we keep repeating and we keep repeating it until we get to the point we're just always with the Fool. We're always at that 0. We're not carrying any resentments, any issues. Basically, Aries, we're free, okay? And there's definitely a bit of a reading about you becoming free. Very intense reading, guys, okay? It might only be for a few of you. Some of you might be going, oh my gosh. But the cards can have really, really shallow meanings. And they can take you right into the highest spirituality possible. And they have all the stages in between. You cannot have a reading with the Judgment card and the World looking right at it, and the Soulmate card without a feeling that there's some major process happening in your life in order for you to move forward again in life's journey, okay? The Ace of Swords as a challenge is a little bit challenging, by the way. I've seen a lot worse, so don't worry. And that's the way that I look at it. When we have that sword, and it's the truth, we have to look at ourselves both in our light and in the bits that need work done. But you know what, Aries? We all need to get to that point. Superficiality is believing it's everyone else, and it's just nonsense. You don't get these sort of cards until you begin to accept your own self, your challenges and your gifts, and then moving them into sort of one and starting again in the Fool's journey, which is exactly what the tarot is about. Intense reading. For some of you, it might just be the clarity. You're waiting for clarity of something. I'm intrigued what this success is. Yeah, look, because with the Wheel of Fortune, so you got some success coming your way, some date with destiny, some serendipity. Absolutely. You know what, Aries, that was a little bit of a gift to do that reading. I just want to say that. And thank you. And loads of love. Bye.